Point Pickers, the premium NFL online pick'em game that pays out cash prizes every week. Point Pickers is a unique and simple pick'em game that alleviates the time-consuming burden of fantasy football. So simple, anyone can play and win. Just pick and rank your teams, play against the full membership, and add your own private party also. Join Point Pickers today and test your skills against your favorite sports talk show hosts, Andrew Vigilati and Shane Miller of The Vig and Miller Show. Go to www.pointpickers.com/The Vig and Miller Show and make your picks now. Point Pickers, it's no fantasy. But we will get my man Damian on the line right after we come back to our break. So stay tuned. You are listening to the Vig and Miller Show on the Sports Chronicles Radio Network, part of Fantasy Sports Warehouse. A part of all this big stuff going on now is my man Damian Waiter of Point Pickers. We got a little bit into it. I promoted it before the break, so we're going to bring him on, and we're going to talk about Point Pickers here, which will allow you fans to come in and play against us, the Vig and Miller Show, for a chance to win money prizes every single week and a grand prize of $1,000 at the end of the regular season. You got to take advantage of that. We're going to bring in Damian Waiter here to talk a lot about this for the next half hour. Damian, definitely want to welcome you here on the Vig and Miller Show. It's an honor to have you.
Hey, Andrew, Shane, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate being on, and I'm really thankful for this partnership we got going. I think it's going to be real exciting.
It's no doubt going to be exciting, man. We're very happy to be aboard. I was looking at it last week. I was like, this is an amazing opportunity for you, for me, for everybody involved, for our listeners out there, for our loyal fans to win some money, and it's just great all across the board. So I pointed out Point Pickers a little bit before you got on. I want you to kind of take the reins of it, Damian. Tell all our listeners out there a lot about Point Pickers itself and then our partnership.
Sure thing. Well, Point Pickers actually was conceived from a game I used to play as a kid on up through an adult, and it was a pick'em game that we played, but it had a little bit more dynamic involvement than a regular pick'em game. So basically, you're making all your picks. There's no point spread, but you're ranking them according to how difficult the pick is. 16 being one of the easiest picks, and number 1 being the hardest picks. And so, if you win the game, you win the points. If you lose the game, you lose the points. So the person who wins is the person with the most total points, not necessarily the person with the most wins and losses that week. So it can be really exciting. I know, we've had it around for this is our 3rd year now, and we've had a lot of sports aficionados like yourself come into this thing, and there's no point spread, and they're going, this is going to be a cakewalk, no problem. And they get really surprised at how difficult it can be. And the flip side to that is, you don't need to be a real diehard sports NFL fan to win at this game either. Sometimes you know how the games get crazy in the NFL, and you can really, sometimes just strike it lucky. We've had all kinds of people win from young kids, of course you have to be over 18, to, women that are not sports fans in particular, to diehard sports fans. And the reason we get that kind of demographic is because the ease of being able to play the game. You simply go in, make your selections of each team and put them in the correct rank, and that's it, and it takes about 5 minutes each week. And, Andrew, like you said, we pay out $100 every week to the winner. It's a Point Pickers debit card that they get in the mail, and then $1,000, which is another debit card that they get at the end of the year for the person who won. And you can go to pointpickers.com, the Vig and Miller Show, to register and sign up and play against Andrew and Shane.
Yeah, and this is one of the great things about this. I mentioned that Shane and I were excited about it. I know Shukri is too, when we told about this when he came into the family last week. This is a great opportunity to win consistently, basically every week. I mean, it depends on who you're playing against, whether it's against us. I mean, we could have 50 people in our pool, or we could have 10. Obviously the odds increase if there's not as many people in our group, but the point is to get a lot of people to come in. It's a lot of fun, and really that's what it's all about, right?
Absolutely. And Shane, what you're referring to is what we call our Point Pickers private parties. And the Vig and Miller group have been, there's my cell phone, sorry about that, guys. The Vig and Miller show have really picked up on this idea and are going to run their own private party. So those members that come in with them are able to not only play the total game with the full membership, but they're also able to play another game with just Vig and Miller members. And so it's really going to get exciting because they have two chances to win. I know they can win our money and then whatever you guys are going to do with your members. And also those members can come in and set up their own private party so that they could play against maybe just their family members or maybe just their friends at work. And we established that. It was kind of funny. We were at a card show, and we were showing off our game last year up in San Francisco. And basically this guy came by and said, you know what you guys should do? You should set it up so you could tally for other people too, and then they could play their own game and make their own side bets. And we just thought that was a great idea, and it's blossomed into this great relationship. So really excited about it, and we're going to have a lot of fun throughout the year talking about the different strategies and how to play the game because it's a lot of fun.
Now, Shane, I'll give you the floor just after this question here. One of my questions that at least might go to the listeners who are listening right now and are thinking about joining up, my question is for them, do you play and win against the Vig and Miller group itself for money, or do you go and play the entire fan base and win money every single week?
You directing that question at me? Yeah. I thought you said you were directing that at Shane. Yeah.
No. I'm allowing Shane the floor after this question. Yeah.
Okay. Definitely. You play against the full membership. What we offer, as I said, the $100 Visa card that we give out each week, and then the $1,000 at the end of the year. That is against the full membership. Now, since you guys have set up your own private party, it gives you the opportunity to give prizes and awards to your membership only, where nobody else in the membership will be able to get a hold of. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. Go ahead, Shane. Absolutely.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. Damien, what makes this more different than any other regular pick'em besides the cash prize? I mean, you have a chance to make up what you paid in 1 week and potentially, quadruple what you put into the game. Would you say that's different from most other pick'em games on the internet?
Well, it's completely different, Shane, and thanks for asking that question. First of all, it is cash prizes. There's no one out there that pays a cash prize that I'm aware of. There might be as time has gone on, because this is our third year now. So that's number one. Number two, it's the dynamic of the game as well, the way we structure it in terms of ranking and then winning off the points, and you subtract the points and you add the points. It's very dynamic, and it always seems to come down to the last game. And what's exciting about it is that if you're a fan of the NFL, all of a sudden you're now absolutely involved in every game. I've got my team. I'm a Niners fan, and I watch a lot of football games. But there's some games that, maybe Buffalo and Miami or something, I'm like, really? I don't care. But now I care because I've got time. I've got, a pick invested in that game, and I'm going to watch that game, which is incredibly dynamic. The next part is, of course, the private parties. They can play against you or other families. And the third component, which I don't think we've really talked about yet, is we have a program called Refer 3 and Play Free. So you can sign up, and any of your members, if they want to bring their family members in, basically they refer 3 people, and they're playing for free. So we're going to take care of that, and they can continue to earn money if they continue to refer other people. So it is completely a win-win situation. On top of all that, if they win once or twice, like you said, it more than triples or quadruples their money.
Yeah, definitely. And do you also participate throughout the year in the pick'em?
No, we don't. I allow extended family members as long as they are not in contact with me in terms of the game. But no, none of the principals of the company participate in the game. We just don't think that's the right thing to do. So it's a bummer because I love the game and I can't play, but we love it and we love monitoring it. And just as a whole, anyone involved with the company does not play.
Also, when I first logged onto your site, I thought it was great that you had the picture of the elder lady winning and then a couple of younger kids.
Mm-hmm.
Did you happen to talk to that little lady that won that money, considering you got a picture from her?
I'll tell you something. That lady is my mother. And I'll tell you, she will sit on the phone with both you guys and be able to talk as much sports as anyone I know, especially when it comes to PGA. And we're moving on because we're going to add PGA and NASCAR as we go on throughout next year. But she can talk sports with the best of them, and she knows her football. There's no doubt about it. But, yeah, what we do, everyone who wins, it's in the terms and conditions. You have to take a picture with the card, and you have to do a phone interview with me, and that's what goes up in the, sort of the winner's gallery. So as the years go on, that's a complete winner's gallery of all the winners that have participated and won. Plus, if you win either 1 week or the year, you have automatic, unlimited lifetime membership into Point Pickers. That's another new thing we're doing this year. So anybody who wins
awesome.
is free forever. Yeah.
And also something that we'd like to do, whoever signs up under us, whoever wins the first couple of weeks, we'd like to, if you wouldn't mind, have a phone interview with you and the winner on the show live.
Absolutely. Would love to do that. Would love to be a part of it. And maybe even do some strategy talk about how, what they thought and, when they were making their picks and how to do their strategy. And, there's a lot of strategy involved. I'll give you one instance, too. We have tiebreakers, obviously, because you get a lot of people playing. You could have a tie. There's one tiebreaker. I'm not going to go into great detail, but it has to deal with differential points. So, in other words, let's say the Rams beat the Niners by 7 points. If you pick the Ram, you minus 7 points. If you pick the Niners, you pick the Rams, you plus 7 points. If you pick the Niners, you minus 7 points times the ranking. So it allows for a tiebreaker. But this year, we actually still had a tie with that last year. This year, and that would be a rollover situation if that was the case. But this year, we're going to have a timestamp. So whenever you go in, either you make your picks for the first time or you edit your picks and you save it. Every time you save your picks, you're going to get time-stamped. And so if there's ever a tie, then it's going to be decided by the timestamp who got their picks in first. So that's a whole other strategy play as well, because you can either make your picks right away on Tuesday morning. That's when the picks open up each week. And then if there's a tie, you're going to be way ahead of everyone. Or you can wait till Sunday morning to make your picks, except for the one Thursday game you got to make before Thursday. And, have more information on the week, have the injuries, have, who's playing, who's not, that kind of a thing. And then, if there's a tie, you're going to lose out. But anyways, there's all kinds of strategies in play here, and it gets a lot of fun.
So basically, whoever makes the first pick, you're saying you want the person to kind of get lucky, in a sense. You want the person to kind of go in blind and make the pick instead of, going into, say, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. The person gets more of an idea what's going to happen in the game. So you're basically giving credit to the person who said, I'm going to make my picks right away. I don't care what the diagnosis is to, say, a Frank Gore or an Anquan Bolden, if you want to use the Niners as an example, going into the game, and they tie, and you end up the person that picks on Tuesday benefits. That's an interesting strategy. Whoever comes first come, first serve, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And like I said, the odds of it, the way we've structured it now with the tiebreaker, multiplying it by the rank, it's highly unlikely there's going to be a tiebreaker beyond that necessary. But this way we know we'll never have a tie. And what it does is, for the people that aren't really into football, don't do a lot of research, are basically just going to make their picks each week. Why not make them on Tuesday morning, and what the heck, and see what happens. So, yeah, we really did it to cure the whole tiebreaker thing. But it is, in and of itself, it's added a new kind of strategy as well.
Yeah, and that's definitely a strategy that I think people are going to have to consider. Do you want to risk that? No, there's not a lot of ties. And you don't really expect a tie to happen every single week. So you can go in on, say, Thursday or Friday and risk if you want to. So it's a calculated risk that there's not going to be a tie in this week's NFL game. So I guess, and you could be playing against somebody who made their pick Saturday, and you can make it on Friday, and you're okay. So it doesn't obviously mean that, it's Tuesday, so they automatically win. So they might not make some picks on Tuesday. But one of the other questions I have for you is, how many people are we going up against here? I mean, if a person signs up for $29.99 a year, or is it first of all, is it a year or is it a one-time fee?
Yeah, it's a one-time fee for the whole year. It's $29, and we're going to be adding on PGA and NASCAR next year if we can. We're a small company. We're bootstrapping this thing ourselves, and basically, I have a great developer and I have a great financial partner. But hopefully, we can add those because we got to add the prize money for those too as well. But yeah, last year it's a great opportunity because last year we had maybe over 250 members and we averaged only about 80 players a game. So it's a real good chance to be a part of that winner's circle. At least consistently for that $1,000 at the end of the year. This year, I think with all the stuff we're doing with you guys and with other partners and just what we're doing more actively with social media. I think there's going to be a lot more, but it's not going to be huge. I doubt we're going to have 1,000 players. If we did, that'd be great, but I really don't think so. So it's a great opportunity right now. It's a ground floor opportunity, and that's why I'm really excited about our partnership because we're kind of sort of a burgeoning sports partnership together here, and it's going to be a lot of fun to take this journey and see where it goes.
Right, and you guys have been – go ahead, Shane.
I was just going to ask, have you guys had any celebrities play your game yet, or not yet?
No, haven't had anybody come in. We've courted a couple of them, but none yet. So anyone you want to bring in and add to the mix under your group, that'd be great.
And they will come in through us. There's no doubt about that.
There you go.
That's what we're trying to do. So, I guess one of my other questions is it's $100 a week, and everybody understands that, but the seasonal prize adds another zero to it. So
that's right.
There's a huge, huge incentive to play the game because not only could you have, say 100 people play this year. 100 people play this year. You win 2 or 3 times. That's $300. Say you win 3 times, and then you're good enough to win the entire season. That's $1,300 for the entire year. And you pay $29.99 for a subscription. What a profit that person would make because of that.
Well, not only that, there's really no risk involved. And in terms of full disclosure here, because it's completely legal, actually the game itself is completely free. They can go into, and we don't advertise it. If you want to play the game only, it's stripped down, it's game only. You still win the prize, but you can go into the terms and conditions, find that link there, and that's where we don't advertise it, but it's there. What you're getting is all the different stats. You're getting the pick distribution, which is a key thing I'll talk about in a minute, the private parties, and so it's really a fair deal in terms of what you get for the value of the site, and that's what you're paying for. On top of that, with what you guys are doing, we offer that to all our members. So someone could sign up under you, and then they could create their own refer 3 and play free. But as you know, you get $10 a person for everyone that signs up. You could sign up 10 and make $100. You could sign up 100. You could sign up as many as you want, and those people are also getting residual $5 if they're the people they sign up re-up year after year. They're going to get $5 a year. So it's a great deal, and it's a no-brainer in terms of that, for sure.
Right, and so basically what we're trying to do here is we're trying to get your partner, get your site up and going. We're trying to get our part too. We want to play. This is one of the things that really attracted me to it. Is that I play Pick'em every year. Okay, I play against my parents. I play in my fantasy league. I actually ended up winning both pools last year, so the money was pretty good. I got like $300 or so. Yeah, so and I feel good about this. So it's an NFL Pick'em. I'm not saying it's going to be a cakewalk, but I know I'm pretty good at it. Shane knows I'm pretty good at it, so I'm kind of boasting myself here. So I think the Vig and Miller Show has a great opportunity to not only win small, like maybe at one time, but I think we could win a couple, 3, 4, maybe 5 times this year. Shane, what are your thoughts about that?
I definitely have the right partner for this, to be quite honest. When he came to me about the idea of partnering up with your site, Damien, I was like, wow, the chances are unlimited because this kid is really good at Pick'em. I mean, if he doesn't win every year, I would say he comes in second. I mean, he wins his family pool every year, And then on our fantasy league, I would say if he doesn't finish in first, he'll finish in second or third almost every year. Mm-hmm. So this kid is pretty good. So I feel pretty good about our chances in winning maybe 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
But the main thing for me isn't really winning. I just want to help both sides be able to grow and become profitable for both sides.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, Andrew.
I was going to say, in the words of Mike Golick, I want to win the pool and win the keys, too. I love part. And win the cash, baby. That's all.
I agree.
Go ahead.
For us to build the two sides, like I said, we're young in our businesses, and the burgeoning opportunity is fantastic. I will say this, with all due respect, Andrew and Shane, I have had umpteen people tell me how good they are in pick'em, and some of them have never won. Some of them won maybe once, and it's a lot more tough the way we do it and the amount of people we have involved than you might think. But hey, hats off to you if you can win 2 and 3 times. I've had people win twice. I've never had somebody win 3 times in a year, but hats off to you. And the key is you got to play every week if you want that $1,000 prize, because you can consistently come in the top 20 and top 10, top 20 every week, and you're going to be right there for that $1,000 prize. In fact, the guy who won the $1,000 never won all year until like the third to last week, but he was consistently on top of that yearly total, because you take the picks, the totals you get each week, and you add them up, and that's the key. You got to play every week, and you got to be consistently good every week, and that's where the prize is for sure.
My question would be. One second, Andrew, let me get this out real quick.
Score is right around the 60s, 80s, something like that. I mean, sometimes people get into the hundreds, but probably around 60s to 70s. And I think in most pick'ems they don't subtract the points, and that's why we have lower scores, because we do subtract the points. So it's about 60s, I say, 60s, 70s.
For the people that you've had win twice, have you ever had anyone win? Would it be someone that won 1 week and then won it overall, or are you only counting by a week-by-week basis, and then maybe someone that won twice also won the $1,000?
No. In fact, actually last year we didn't have anybody win twice. The year before we did, and we didn't have the $1,000 prize the year before. But no, the person who won twice, nobody won twice last year, but the person who did win the $1,000 did win once. But the way he did, I have to go back and look at the details. We've got it in the archives there. I don't think he would have had to have won, and he still would have won that $1,000 because he was so consistently good all year. And that's a key. He won, and that pretty much closed the deal when he won, because that really separated him. But he wouldn't have had to win, and he still would have won the $1,000 because he was so consistently good.
Listen. If you have a chance to win the $1,000 prize every single year, because even if you don't win a week, that makes you think. Well, at least it would make me think, wow, I should play this game, because I don't have to win 2 or 3 times during the portion of the season a week to win the grand prize. I could finish in the top 5, I could finish in the top 20, and still, and even out of 100 people, have a chance to win the grand prize. So, hey, it's very enticing. It's a very interesting, intriguing game. I'm excited to do it. I know Shane is, and we want to play against all our loyal listeners out there. We are excited. We want you to come aboard. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. I know you're excited for it. This whole partnership is awesome, man. What are your final thoughts about it?
Well, the last 2 things, we added, like I said, the statistics, and there's only a couple right now. We've built a lot of the site on what information our members have given us, suggestions and whatnot. But you'll be able to tell each week where your win-loss is as compared to the leader for the year, and then what your average points are. So let's say that the leader's averaging 65, 70 points a week, and you're averaging 55. You got to pick it up about 10 points a week if you want to be there in the end. And the other great thing is what we call pick distribution. You can go in there, and what you can see is the percentage of people who are picking a particular team and at what rank they're picking a particular team. So that's a whole nother strategy play, and I know we don't have time to talk about that now, but maybe next time we'll get into what that does for you.
And actually, I do have one more question, and I don't know if you do, Shane, also, but my last question is, at the end of the season, say after Week 17, we have a tie with, say, 5 people. They have the same amount of points at the end. How are you going to break that tie? Because, or is it going to be a split of the 1,000 grand prize? I mean, I don't know how you can do it with, obviously a timestamp, because you're talking about the entire season.
Well, that's not an issue. I'll tell you why. The differential points, what we used to do is just take the differential points and add or subtract them. So let's say one team won by 7 points. If you pick that team, you got the 7 points for the tiebreaker points, because you have regular points and tiebreaker points. If you didn't pick that team, you lost the 7 points. But now we take that 7 points and we multiply it by the rank that particular selection was in. And the vast difference in tiebreaker points is huge in terms of what it wasn't even close last year in terms of, number one, the points, and then in number one, the tiebreaker points were thousands of points off. In that case, yeah, I think we would split it up. But I find it highly unlikely, at least in the next couple of years, until we start reaching into the 10,000s and 20,000s. I find it highly unlikely it's even going to come close to that happening.
Shane, you got a question?
No, actually, you've answered pretty much everything. Thank you so much, Damian.
No problem, guys. Thanks for having me on, and I love the show. I listened to it last week in the archive, and I listened to the whole first hour. It's been great. Thanks for having me on.
Appreciate it, man. We're going to do it again here in the next week, maybe even next week or even before that. We can get you on one more time before the season starts, and let's roll on with it, man.
Okay, man. Sounds good, guys. Talk to you later.
Have a good one, man.
You too.
All right, take it easy. All right, that was Damian Waiter of Point Pickers, our partnership with them starting this season. We want everybody to go on pointpickers.com/BigNMiller to join our link, to join us and play against us in NFL Pick'em this year. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be extremely a lot of fun. 80 to 100 people. If that's how many we're playing against, that gives you can do the math there, the odds of winning every single week. And like he said, you don't have to win 2 or 3 times, or you don't have to win at all, for that matter, to have a chance at the $1,000 grand prize. So to me, that's really enticing. It's $29.99, but hey, I think it's worth it. You can basically get to profit right away. So I like it, I love it, and I'm excited for it. So Big and Miller and Point Pickers.
When we win 5 or 6 times, you know how it'll be. We'll definitely take it all.
Hey, you try to win as many times as possible, man. So I know everybody out there is thinking to themselves, wow, we have a chance to play against the Big and Miller boys, and we have a chance to play and win some big-time money during the course of the regular season. And it's a lot of fun. It'll keep you engaged in every single NFL game during the course of the week. And if you don't do that for fantasy purposes, you got to do it for Point Pickers. So gotta love it. I'm really excited for this partnership, and we're going to roll with it.